Thank you, Abby. And as you can see behind me, not much is going on quite yet. Soon, the Democratic candidates from around the state will be right here in this room. And one of the biggest races right now is the governor's race between Democrat Sue Minter and Republican Phil Scott. The race is tight, but Minter stands for investing in city infrastructure, workforce development, higher education, and state environmental issues like cleaning up Lake Champlain. The other big race tonight is for Lieutenant Governor, which is between Democrat David Zuckerman and Republican Randy Brock. Zuckerman is a progressive Democrat and is for the legalization of marijuana, affordable higher education, and also supports the parents' choice when it comes to child immunization.
The Gold Key winners have the opportunity to move on to the national stage of the competition and even have an opportunity to have their work displayed at Carnegie Hall in New York City. Do you think you can tell the difference between a real and counterfeit bill? Some businesses in St. Johnsbury have reported fake cash being spent at their stores. Alex Paddock learned some tips and tricks on how to tell the difference between real and fake money at a local bank. Boards cover the broken window behind me where a frequent customer used his knowledge to break into the cash register.
And even though it may not smell too great, it's very important for people to compost, especially for the environment. But people also need to remember to only compost food and food-based products.
Thank you, Mike, and thank you, Alex. Yes, I'm here on scene in Concord, and as you can see right here behind me, the building has been a complete loss. When I arrived here at about 11 o'clock this morning, I saw how intense that the flames got and how dense that the cloud was of smoke. And there were no injuries that were reported, but the road was closed, then moved to about one lane after about an hour, and now Route 2 has been opened. When I arrived here at about 5 p.m. today, Concord Fire Department was finishing up cleaning up the debris, and now they are gone. But earlier today, I spoke with some of the witnesses of the fire.
By the time we got here, fire had already gone out the back side of the building. And it wasn't safe to put anybody in. It's a matter of just keep it from spreading up to the house. And some trucks and stuff are up on the back side.
Incredible pictures show the magnitude of the fire that broke out late this morning at P&S Furniture on Route 2 in Concord. Flames could be seen from miles away, and residents watched as their neighbor's business went up into flames.
It's a shame. I mean, I don't know. It's a big fire. I didn't know if it's going to get away, but I think the wind is killing them.
Route 2 was closed for over an hour as multiple fire departments tried battling the blaze.
So we got here, had to set up dump tanks, portable ponds, and then we've got tankers from 8 different departments here to get enough water. We're hauling water from 2 places. That was the biggest issue.
Concord Fire Department is appreciative for all of the assistance they received.
Yeah, it just shows how good mutual aid works. We couldn't do it, especially during the daytime, short of help. When we got here, there was only 3 of us here from our department. So, the mutual aid is what saves us things like this with all the area towns.
It's feeling really good right now.
The race for lieutenant governor was heated last night between Democrat David Zuckerman and Republican Randy Brock. Even though they were on separate tickets, they both saw similar issues.
Vermonters are concerned about a lot of things, but the biggest thing they're concerned about is jobs in the economy, and the economy, the way it affects them in terms of things such as property taxes.
We talked about how a strong economy raises workers' wages. A strong economy future means affordable housing. It means affordable child care.
The race was expected to end handily to Zuckerman, but turned out to be a tight race that left even the candidates anxious.
Planned to be up here a little bit earlier, but the numbers are coming in slow.
Zuckerman ended up taking the win, but Brock was still pleased with the results from the rest of the Vermont elections.
This is a bittersweet moment, though, because I am so happy to know that Phil Scott has been elected governor of the state of Vermont. And Vermont will remain in my heart, will remain in my mind, and I will continue to work for Vermont now and into the future.
With similar ideas, Zuckerman will soon be able to put them into action. Alexa Richard, News 7, Burlington. New Hampshire is known as being one of the most important states for the primaries.
It's cool that we get to go first, so to speak. We're just after Iowa, but this is the first time it's actual votes and not a caucus, and I'm very interested to see what happens tonight.
The New Hampshire primary gives early momentum to those who do well, which also brings donors and media attention, which are both crucial for the rest of the primaries.
Given what's going on in Iowa, I think people got an eye-opener that this really does matter this time around. I mean, everything was polled out, but not quite accurate to the polls, and I'm not surprised that the same thing happens here in New Hampshire.
One of the main reasons why New Hampshire is so important is because of its early voting, just like Iowa, which also brings a lot of attention, but everyone's votes around the country still matter.
It's really important this year. The divides are so wide, and the character of the candidates is very varied this time around.
It's very energizing to think that you can be part of a process like this in your country.
Just over the river in New Hampshire, a man has died on a Boy Scouts hiking trip. The 59-year-old has been identified as James Norton from Acton, Massachusetts. He suffered from unknown medical conditions while hiking Beans Purchase with the troops on Sunday. Fellow hikers tried to conduct CPR, but it was too late. New Vermont jobs declined last month. However, the unemployment rate is still remaining at 3.3%. This is lower than the national average, which is 5%. But good news for job seekers out there. Business leaders are interested in growing their workforces and say it is an excellent time for people to start applying to jobs. Even more changes are being made to the Vermont healthcare exchange system. Governor Peter Shumlin's biggest frustrations are the long waiting times to the call centers. Shumlin met with the president of the company, who says they will bring on more staff to reduce the wait times. Scott Millen stopped by the tap room in St. Johnsbury to talk about his campaign, and video journalist Connor Cyrus sat down with him to hear some more. And a heads up, that supermoon that we were talking about is about to put on a show that hasn't been seen since 1948. And a cashier puts on a show of his own and goes viral. Jeremy Roth has today's Take a Look at This.
That looked like a great event, and I have so much respect for the firefighters that really go out and do what they do.
Absolutely. And I also heard that the St. Johnsbury Fire Department updated the memorial as well. It has a brand new beautiful plaque. So if you drive through St. Johnsbury, you'll be able to see that, and it looks great.
That's awesome.